The rain hadn't stopped for 3 days. Winds howled through the trees surrounding the isolated cabin deep in Washington's wilderness. Inside, Lily sat by the fire, wrapped in a blanket, her eyes flicking toward Dan, who paced restlessly, his face drawn with frustration. "I told you this was a mistake," Dan muttered, voice tight, almost to himself. Lily didn't respond immediately. The tension between them had been building for months, an undercurrent of unspoken words. This trip, meant to fix things, had only deepened the cracks in their marriage. "We need to get away." "You said you wanted to unplug," she said, trying to calm him. But Dan wasn't listening. His frustration was growing. "I didn't think it would be like this," he snapped. "I'm not built for this." The first night was silent, but by the second, something began to shift. Heavy breathing echoed outside the cabin, low and guttural, like something waiting. Lily thought it was the wind at first, but as it continued closer now, her stomach dropped. The next morning, they found it. Enormous handprints smeared across the windows. Each one was as large as her torso, slick with something unidentifiable. "What the hell?" Lily gasped. Dan didn't believe her. He thought it was just her imagination, the isolation messing with her mind. But by morning, the handprints had returned, bigger, clearer, and each night, the breathing grew louder, closer, almost methodical. By day 4, things escalated. A loud knock, 3 thuds, came at the door, shaking the cabin's foundation. Lily froze. "Did you hear that?" she whispered. Dan nodded. "Don't open it." The knock came again. This time, the door shook under the impact, as if something huge was trying to get in. Lily's heart raced. The door crashed inward. A massive figure loomed in the doorway, its face shadowed by the dim light, eyes glowing faintly. It was a grotesque blend of man and beast, towering over them. Its hands, enormous and clawed, hovered just above the ground. Lily's breath hitched. Dan grabbed her, pulling her toward the back door. They fled into the woods, but the creature's footsteps followed, heavy and relentless. They ran blindly, tripping over roots and branches, the cold air biting their skin. The forest seemed endless, dark shapes looming around them. They didn't stop running until they were gasping for breath, eyes wide with terror. They turned to look. There was nothing. No creature, just the cold stillness of the woods. When they finally made their way back to the cabin at dawn, it was gone. Only broken boards and debris remained. The windows, once smeared with the giant handprints, were now clean. The creature was gone. Lily and Dan were found hours later by a search party, disheveled and wild-eyed. They couldn't speak about what had happened, only muttering about the thing they'd seen. They never went back to the woods. Years passed, but the memory never left them. They couldn't forget the feel of the creature's breath, the terror in those glowing eyes. And sometimes, late at night, when the wind howled through the trees, they swore they could hear the breathing again, just outside their window.